Hello, welcome to the Houston SWL channel. Here's a neat little radio I have for you. Picked this up off of eBay. It was selling for $40. You can see down here it's a Grundig and it's the model Solo Boy. So these, I guess from just my short time looking into these, are fairly uncommon in the United States. I guess from what I read, these were made for the German European market, and you can see, I guess it has U or FM, medium wave, and then long wave. There's really nothing as far as long wave that I'm aware of still operating in the US, but could be wrong, so let me know. And so as you can see here, it's the Solo Boy, so it has the push buttons for the FM. M is for the medium wave or long wave, or as we would say here in the US, AM, amplitude modulation band. And so I guess they call this U, I guess it's short for UKW, which is Ultra Kurzwelle in German, which translates directly to ultra shortwave. So it's the German equivalent for FM or frequency modulation. So if you see any of these other older Grundig radios made like in the 60s, 70s, maybe even before that, you'll see U. And then I guess there's another nomenclature for shortwave. So you're going to see that. So this was actually a radio made by Grundig proper before they filed for bankruptcy and got bought out, I think, in 2004 by a Turkish company. So in going on to the Radio Museum website, it was showing that this radio was made in, if I can pull this up, you can see it, around 1970. Broadcast receiver, country Germany. And you can see it's 9 transistors, super heterodyne. Is the broadcast band, long wave, and FM. And I think maybe some had either FM or UHF. It takes 6, but there's the C batteries. There's a compartment in there for that. So mine is actually called there's a little sticker inside of the battery compartment. It says Solo Boy 200LE. I'm not sure what the E stands for, but here you can see the frequency ranges here for the UKW or FM, medium wave, and long wave. So there's actually not a whole lot of information out there that I could find on these Solo Boys. They don't seem quite as popular, or I'll say probably even as common as some of the like the Ocean Boys made in the 60s, or there's a bunch of different Grundig Boy type radios. There's the this is the Solo Boy. Another popular version is the Ocean Boy. There was a Melody Boy. There's another boy, and then more recently, I think we've been in shortwave a while. You've heard of the Grundig Yacht Boy. So it looks like there was a line of these various type radios. And then when Grundig got bought out by the Turkish company, then a company in California that had the name of Lextronics, I believe, started taking over either the manufacturing or the selling or the name rights for Grundig, and then they eventually changed their name to Eaton. And now there was, I guess, a deal made where they could use the Grundig names, so you'll see a lot of the same radios branded as Grundig or Eaton. You know, one comes to mind is the Satellite 750. I have a Grundig version, but my brother has an Eaton version, pretty much the exact same radio, just different branding. And I think now all of those Eaton radios are made in China, probably the later Grundig models too. And from what I read, they may be made by Texan, who also makes their own brand of shortwave radios. So this is a neat little radio. I like it a lot. I guess it's pretty hefty, and if you get something like this made by Grundig or probably some other well-known radio manufacturers, they just feel solid and hefty. You know, I guess this is actually metal with the back, some type of plastic material. So once the batteries are in here, you'll feel it. So it has the on-off switch here and the tuning dial. Same tuning dial to use for medium wave and UHF and assuming long wave. I haven't even tried long wave. I don't even know what to get. But if we turn it around, this is a back cover, so it has this handle, which is nice. I guess the screws, take those off, you have easy access to the back of the radio. And then under here there's a sliding compartment where you can access the batteries, and back up in here is where I saw the model number behind this battery, what that model was. So I did clean it up a little bit after I got it. I mean, it was in pretty good shape, you know, normal wear and tear of scuffs and scratches, that's to be expected. The only other thing, it said the antenna had broken off, so luckily, I guess where it slides down, I guess this part here still had like the curve to it, and there was a hole there. I guess there would have been on the other side where the antenna shaft went through, so I just found the antenna from an old handheld radio and just got a screw and screwed that in there. Use some Loctite, so that's not, I guess I can take it off. It's just gonna take a little effort. So it seems to be working well. And so I did do a quick search, but I think any kind of parts for this radio is going to be hard to come by, especially in the United States. There may be more of a market in Europe for that sort of thing, since these were made for that market. But let me let you hear what this sounds like. Turn it on. So we're in the FM. So let's see if I can get something that's not playing music. So this is the KUHF, the public PBS broadcast station here in Houston, from the University of Houston. So you can hear to me, these old Grundigs have a really nice sound. I guess whatever speakers and audio circuitry they used. And this is made, like I said, in I think around 1970. So this is like about 50 years old. And still sounding pretty good. It tunes well, no issues. Just quickly go by these stations here. But not sure what station that is. But no issues on FM or medium wave. Let me go to medium wave or AM.
You can lay your head down every night knowing I served him well.
Yes.
Really like the sound.
You served them well.
Some of these stations may not be broadcasting with the greatest amount of power. This is a pretty loud one. It's like a talk radio. Sounds like a Asian or Indian music station here in town.
Where you go? Would you want us? Amazon Echo or two of them.
Anyway, you can get a gist that it's still working and tuning well, no issues. See, I think I did spray a little deoxit on the knobs, but they were working fine when I got it. I did open it up and cleaned it a little bit. But other than that, really nice radio. I like it. So if you could actually find one in the U.S., I would, and it's in working condition, even maybe with some issues that you can fix, I would definitely recommend getting one. So again, this is the Grundig Ocean Boy 200 LE. So this came out like in 1970-ish range. There was an earlier version of the Solo Boy that came out like in early 1960, 61, 63. So from the Radio Museum, this is what it looked like. So, totally different look, but it was called the Solo Boy 201. So I think these are pretty collectible and probably somewhat rare. So they were a small transistor, sort of portable handheld radio for the time, as you can see here. And it had 6 transistors. These two 1.5 volt batteries, 0.05 watts, unknown quality, and some different specs there about the radio. So yeah, I guess that's another thing. I think I'd mention that trying to find information for some of these European branded market radios from back in that time frame are kind of hard to come by. I did find a schematic diagram and some type of service manual, but the service manual was in German. So hopefully I won't have to use that. I think it had like an alignment procedure in there. But that's the Grundig Solo Boy. So thanks for watching. I'm going to have some other videos for you coming soon.